Welcome to the second video of the 32-player Neptunes Pride custom game, where we are Graymason in the circular universe and galaxy, and we spawned as the orange circle here, and we're off to a good start. We killed Thing 1 and Thing 2 early on with the help of Master Debater, basically being a meat shield for early attacks. He's fended that off well. I am aligned with one blue to my north and Graveyard. So here's one blue Graveyard. And what's happening here, and let's go ahead and cut over to the map. So what's happening here is this is as best I know what the alliances are. I'm with Graveyard, one blue, Graymason, Master Debater. And Master Debater and I are moving south to deal with Vijo next, and I'll show you some of those details. We're in good shape there. But Nat 20 and Pyro Dre are coming to the defense up here, and that's going to be problematic because handling all three of those is not going to fly. Now, they're also with Eborg, who my understanding is Bony Boy and Eon 6T are attacking. Mr. Lethal Blood is, I think, trying to fight Pyro Dre for the stars in the center, but that'll be tricky. Meanwhile, we'll just call him Special K, is dealing with Bellum, who was Earth Force Alliance in one of my prior games. So Dr. Gert and Bellum are finishing up Kaine. These guys, I'm not sure if they're aligned. It's kind of a hot mess over here from what I can tell. But then you have Crasso with Beg, who seems to be going and trying to just be neutral on the south and push into this section here because it's basically two AIs and Captain Morgan, who got off to a terrible start in his bad positioning. This Giga Cretan, who doesn't seem like he really has a friend, but has been left alone, has a lot of ships and is fighting off Graveyard. So Graveyard pushed into this red and then is now dealing with Giga Cretan by himself. One blue is trying to push through to the middle. So this is the landscape as best I know it. If we jump back over to the game here, you'll see we'll dive down into what's happening. So yesterday, we'll show you a quick yesterday. We got some manufacturing pass. Excellent. We sent 880 ships to their death. But we did some damage and then we were able to follow that up with another 850, and he only had 1900, so he doesn't have a lot left. He's actually down to 1300, and he's about to lose another 250, so he'll be just at 1000, so 1/3 of what I'm at, and just over half of the capacity just for me alone. So what I'm intending to do here, so Master Debater is going to get blown up barely. I'm going to wait to the tick before it lands, so it's going to land in 2 ticks. What I'm doing here is I'm going to have just a little follow-up crew, wait 1, and then as it blows up, send out the other one. So in 9 ticks, I should secure this, and he can send in more troops, and I can warp gate it for him. But we'll get him in position here because I'm closer. But the other 500, I'm going to go ahead and hopefully he'll keep these warp gates up. He'll keep those warp gates up, and we will start to just take over his core sections. Ultimately, we want to give these core stars to Master Debater to be able to fight it off, and I'll get the outer groups. And then we'll start dealing with this Nat 20, who's basically fighting up here. And I'll show you real quick. This is what he sent me, and basically what he says is he's got about 1,000 ships heading his way. Instead of trying to block it and only killing half, he's just counter punching and going to jump in here and leap right through him to this undefended star. So it's a pretty nice move here, and you can see, by the way, from this, there's 281. 281 are headed here. So that's going to be, or I guess they could, from the angle, maybe they're headed here. So I want to get there as quick as I can and deal with with Nat 20 because I think Vijo's basically giving up. And if I can get this homeworld, who looked like he's kind of going back to protect, um, that's a valuable property. So we're doing some tactical things here. Vijo should be gone soon. Then it'll be a 2-on-2 with Dre and Pyro, who are stronger collectively than us. So we're just going to hope that Lethal Blood can distract Dre up top, and these guys can maybe pull Dre in that direction as well. So it's going to be a little tight for a little while, but that's part of the fun. Cycle 11, things are heating up over at Vijo domain, so let's dive right in there first. We were able to capture the Vijo beachhead, then we were able to capture White Ark, and now we're moving down to Guinea. And Master Debater, he's going to come in and he'll protect the beachhead. He's able to get Bodrum and then move down here. And then he was actually able to capture the homeworld. Now, Nat 20 is showing up just in time. And so that obviously ruins a bit of our fun. But no, we're looking pretty solid here. Vijo is, effectively dead, especially once Nat 20 takes his homeworld. He really won't have any great means of great production, great economy. I'm going to capture this star. I should be able to capture this star. I'll defend up there. I'll defend up here. And then I can even swing down. Actually, I'll just program that right now. So there's actually, that's not what I'm going to do. Should I? Yeah. So we'll get things moving, and then we'll be face to face with Nat 20. The only other thing of note, tensions between my northern allies seem to have slowed down. Dre's gotten to the middle, as has Lethal Blood, Mr. Lethal Blood. And then I got this bony boy, right? So down here, the yellow square, sent me a message saying that the Alliance has just declared war on him because it took a couple hours to respond. So I'll be starting with Eon 6 and moving east. And then he said that Green Triangle already has more than half its total ships en route. So this is a battle going on right here as well. It doesn't directly impact me, but good to know. But for right now, it's just a focus of, Master Debater, who's still rebuilding, and myself trying to finish off Vijo and Nat 20. Nat 20 obviously would be a lot harder, but if we get Vijo out of the way, and if Dre does not focus on us up here, we'll be in good shape. Cycle 12, a couple of things have developed here. One is you can see in the center, there's clearly a non-aggression pact between Dre and Mr. Lethal Blood. And so what that means for me is trouble, because I was negotiating with Nat and Dre on how do we push forward, how do we move forward, can we work together in any way? And what we came to essentially was no. For me to move forward with them and kill Vijo, they said, well, I have to then kill my allies. And I would just expand and kill all my allies while they also expand in the middle. And I just feel like that's not viable. So there's really little choice. And I'm concerned because half of my alliance are kind of going up here, and it's just me and the weakest member of our team fighting three of them. And I'm stronger individually than I think pretty much, well, not in ship count because I've been fighting, but in stats than everyone. So if we look at the intel, well, my industry was the highest. My economy is the highest. My ships have been taking a beating. My science, well, for a while it was the highest as well. But, so I'm doing well, but the problem is, and last night, the problem is my allies. And last night, while I was sleeping, Master Debater decided to go ahead and try to move in. And he lost 200 fleets and killed 200 of my fleets just because he moved when I was attacking. Even though he knew my time zone, he didn't tell me he was doing it. So that's the type of thing that's just unfortunate. and I'm in a position now where I don't want to sacrifice. I have more ships. I could go ahead and I could take this star, but I would have to commit a lot, and I'd be taking a 5 industry star, giving up 20. Like I need to hold on to these stars here, and yeah. So even though they're weaker, and Master Debater is spending a lot of his efforts defending his western inner flank, and it just and it's troubling. So I'm not sure how this is kind of taking a turn for the worse. Um, it's going to be tricky for a little bit of time. Cycle 14. We're making a little bit of progress over in the east, but we still have a bigger issue at hand. It seems that really this entire southern group cluster is acting as one, and they're passing techs. So in addition to having this immediate foursome with Viju, who's about dead, Nat 20, who's defending him valiantly, and Pyro Dre, who's also supporting and coming around up top, we knew that they were with Eborg, and we knew Eborg attacked um, the Bony Boy here. What I don't know is what's going on between Mr. Lethal Blood and Eon 6T and Special K here. It seems like they're not fighting up in the center, which I understand why they would make that decision, but it basically makes this entire southern block. And that means we need this west to align, and we need to align, and we all need to push south together. The problem is when we look at my team right now, um, currently, we're saying we're getting attacked, and we realize that when I'm asking for my allies to help hit Pyro Dre because we're getting Pyro Dre hitting us over here, we have one blue saying, just the thing that takes 6 days to get my ships to the front line. And he's like, yeah, can you start building warp gates? Like, so he hasn't even built warp gates, even though he's got, a ton of economy. Like, he's got some of the most in the game. So he's kind of being an asshole. And I get, like, he got upset with Braveyard. So now he's not going to help out. So he's like, yeah, I'm like, what do you mean you have it? And then he's like, yeah, and some of his carriers are looping in the wrong direction. So I'm like, come on. So I don't know how much hell I'm going to get. I've got some people in the West here reaching out saying, hey, we'll work with you. But I need to live long enough to get to that point in the game. So I'm encouraged that I have both Earth Force Alliance, also known as, which one is he? He's one of these guys over here. I have Crasso. I have a couple people that I think would be willing to work with me. I have Bellum, yeah. He's not in great shape either. But yeah, so it's a tricky situation. If we dive deeper though into tactically, here's the good news. I was able to get down here on VJO 9, which was a 10 resource star, and I will be able to defend it against these two attacks. I'm going to defend VJO 7 from their attack. I have 400 ships coming down. I'm going to send 300. I would arrive 2 hours after him. So if he is going to get there in 16 hours, I'm going to get there in 18 hours. So what I do is the hour before he is going to arrive, I need to turn this warp gate on, and I'll get there. My 3 hours will be instant, and his 1 hour will be instant, and so I'll get there at the same time and defend that. So I just need to, as it gets closer in 15 hours, like set my alarm if it's the middle of the night and do that, because that's going to be a huge battle to hold on to this star. I should take VJO 1 back. It looks like he's going to try to hold here, and I need Master Debater to make progress on VJO 2. If we can, because I've cut this off down here and I'm getting their match 20's attention here, these yellow stars should fall, and we should be able to get those because my reinforcements and VJO and Master Debater should get there first. If we can claim these yellow stars for our team, and I'm able to hold what I have plus get a couple more, then I think we're in good shape, especially if I get my alliance starting to hit Pyro Dre. But they need to keep Pyro Dre because if he pushes in here, we're kind of screwed. I don't have an answer for that. But we do have an answer for getting these core stars. And Vijo, he's got this is a 10 star, 10. I should also get this one for 3, and then I did the math, and this one's a 3 as well. So um, I need to hold. I need to continue to push. We need to get this cluster, and because of all this distraction down in the south, and we've got this star, there's not a lot of reinforcements coming up here, yet I've got a lot on the way. I am sending some stars from my home star down to defend against Dre. So basically at this point, these stars here, my northern stars, are going to defend against Dre, but then the other 75% will push south. So that's the plan. Hopefully my team can get their act together and we can make some progress. Cycle 15. Things are getting crazy. So let's start in with the tactics this time. I was able to blow up a lot of ships over here. If you look at, I blew up 550 nat ships coming my way. What was troubling though is I saw Nat 20 letting him live and not blowing it up, and he could have defended this star. Like he could have defended Vijo too. He would have held, but he didn't. And then I see, and I know that this Metro 2 star. No, I'm sorry. This one here. Um, Master Debater gave it to Dre without a fight. And I've been a little concerned with Master Debater for a while. I believe he's on my side, but he thinks he's playing like both sides of this, and like outsmarting him. And all he's really doing is giving up information. And so I tried to put an end to it. So basically, he's been like just texting me all of the chat, right? But he's in a chat with the enemy here. Will you turn on Graymason? I need some ground because right, whatever. Like so, it's all this nonsense. But in the course of that, he's giving up information and then giving up stars. And I get it. He's trying to buy time. He's trying to save himself. I totally get it. And he did get this star out of it, which is actually good. But I think like we're past like this double agent super spy stuff. And then there was this where Pyro Dre reached out to my northern ally saying, "Hey, basically, can we have a friendly border?" And the reason he wants to do that is because they're now in the north. Now, one blue's got nothing to do but to attack Dre. But he's like, if I attack him alone, I can't do anything. I need my ally to help me. But Braveyard's like, I can't attack unless I have some safety from Crasso here. So Crasso's just kind of coming into the fold up in the north. Now, he's part of the group with Beg here. And, the problem is we need the entire rest of the board to align against Dre and Mr. Lethal Blood in the middle. And that's not yet happening. So in my Discord, I had a conversation with Crasso. I explained, I'm like, listen, if you attack Braveyard, you are throwing away the game, because what happens is whatever you do there, we all die and Dre gets too big. And I think that's true, but certainly it ends for me. So I need Crasso to hopefully attack center, but at a minimum not attack my ally, so my ally is going to attack center. I need people attacking center. Dr. Gert over here is like, we're losing our 2v2 over here against Lethal Blood, so we need these green players and pink players to be pushing center. That's what they need to be doing right now. Or the South just as wins. So I then went back to Nat and Pyro Dre, and I told them, hey, it's come to my attention from my advanced spy network that my allies are plotting against me. Counter actions are in place. If I kill Masturbator and turn on my north, will you let me in on your alliance? He's like, what did your spy say? So then I pasted all the stuff that he gave me, um, and in that picture that I just showed you here. And he's like, LOL, have you hacked my account? Are you playing with two accounts? I said, or because my alliance members are sharing everything with me because they're not going to turn on me. Master Debater thinks of himself as a spy, a double agent. He's proud of himself. So here's the new deal. I'm going to finish off Vijo, and I'm going to kill Nat 20. Before I was going to work with Nat 20, but now screw you guys. I'm going to kill you both. Then I'll consider working with Pyro Dre unless you attack me or work behind the scenes. Like, aren't you working behind the scenes? I'm like, no. I'm telling you I'm working against you openly, actively, unless you work, unless you come around. So I'm in absolutely no position to be this aggressive in my negotiations, but and what I but I am. And I told Master Debater, I'm like, listen, you need to now, if you have to give stars to Dre, make Dre a bigger target, give up stars to him. But we need to kill Vijo because no one else is going to do it, and we need to kill Nat 20 because no one else is going to do it. We are stronger than them. I'm stronger than them. So even if we give up stars to Dre, if we take those two out and Dre gets bigger, that just compels the rest of the board to attack Dre. That's what we need to do. If we try to defend all three fronts, then there's no urgent action required from the board to act on Dre because he's, quote, being dealt with by us. And then we just slowly die, and that's the worst. So we need to quickly lose stars to Dre while we finish off his ally so he's the singular threat. That's the plan. I'm probably still going to die this game, but that's how I'm trying to get the board to unite. Cycle 16. We may have done what we were trying to do, and that is form the Great Northern Resistance. You have this big group in the middle here, right? You have Dre, and notice the text here, 10, 10, 10. Oh, Lethal Blood, 10, 10, 10. Oh, Special K, 10, 10, 10. Oh, who's this guy down in the bottom here? He must be strong. Look at how strong he is. Oh, actually, okay, he's not that strong. But you get the idea. And what that means here is I'm dealing with 10, 10, 10. We got to deal with this, right? So it's essentially this entire corner of the map. Now, the problem for them is that it's so obvious and apparent. We've got a lot of savvy players left. I was pushing for this. I created this Great Northern Alliance with this group of people. So myself, the four on my team, plus Dr. Gert and Crasso and Bellum and Beg. I think that represents this section here. So it's kind of, there's four of them, right? That's four, right? One, two, three, yeah. Four of them, four of that. So it's us 8 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's kind of 8 on 8, but a few other people are really small. And so this would be the Great Northern Resistance. And our 4 is aligned where they really, it's Crasso and Beg as one alliance, and it's Skirt and Bellum. And so that gives us an advantage. So anyway, the point here is it wasn't just me. I kind of just poked them, but it was Crasso who came back and saying, hey, we don't need a nap. We need full-fledged coordination. And to say individually yes or no here. And so, of course, I did. Debater did 1 blue. Braveyard will. Beg. So we basically have everybody. Who are we waiting on? We're waiting on Crass. Wait, don't have this Crass. We'll post it. Who's left? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's 1, 2, 3? Well, whoever it is, they're on board. Oh, it would be Bellum. Didn't say yes yet, but he will. Of course he will. So what that means is my alliance can be hitting on Dre now, which is good. So I did some math, and just to share the math with you guys as well, the 4 of us against the Dre, Nat, Vijo team that we're facing, we're up 10,000 ships. So we have 30K to their 20. We produce 500 an hour versus their 277. So they have a little bit of better science and tech, or a little better technology, because they started coordinating sooner. But we should win the fight if we attack now. Um, and I didn't do the math for the Western fights because I don't care as much. But now there's a few different things that need to be flushed out, like what is how's Beg? How's he going to get to the middle? I think we need range 10, and we're at range 8 right now, which is not going to be that long. Um, but there's some logistical things to figure out. But the main thing is the 8 of us are now aligned against the 8 of them, and we should have the upper hand. Now, back to the tactics. There are 2,000 plus ships coming in from Dre. I've been rallying to try to defend. And again, I'm not. This is my least priority. I'm not pushing on Dre. I'm not trying to hit multiple fronts. For me, I just want to hold my ground right there. Hold the line. As a matter of fact, let's change this name. It's not South Central anymore. It's hold the line. That's where we hold the line now. We're just not going to give that star. Now, down here, if you notice, there's a lot more yellow here yesterday. It's all gone. So great job by Master Debater. And you see him fleeing, trying to do some whatever he's doing. But the point here is now Master Debater can rally everything and get a nice centralized push down in this section. I'm about to land. I should have recorded this in an hour and 3 minutes, but needless to say, this star will not be existing. He's trying to counterattack. Well, that's silly because he didn't have that warp gated, and I had this, so my reinforcements clearly could cover a counterattack. But I guess it's a good try. Actually, that's all right. So here's the thing: if you're ever in this position, don't do this. Why? Because we are even in, actually he's not even in weapons, right? So okay, he's not getting all the tech from his alliance now. They're kind of giving up on him, and so he would kill more of my ships just holding the star and absorbing the hits. There's no way he should not assume that he's going to be able to, in this 10-hour journey. Yeah, how long is this? How much time did he give me to respond? 13 hours. He's not going to make a 13-hour trek that I'm not going to get reinforcements on my main supply line. So he would be more effective just keeping these here. Now I take this with fewer losses, and he will take more. I'll lose less from him attacking me. So that's honestly perfect. What do we know then? We know that this is a really big star, and this has 3 industry on it, right? Is it 23, 10, 10, 3? And so, although this is going to be a harder star to get to, so I want to finish him off because I don't want him to be able to send his banking. So really, it's to get this star, and then just kind of push out here. This is my next little section to push out, and tactically speaking, I outmatch Nat 20. And I'll also have the support of Master Debater. So between the two of us, we should make some good progress. And once we start chipping away into this, good things happen. Really, really, really good things start happening for us. And with the support of my guys in the north, there should be less pressure coming down here. And with Nat 20 falling, then all these ships are not going to be able to stream everything to the top. He's going to have to leave some here to defend. I would anticipate what we'll see right now, because you would say, okay, well, what about Eborg? It looks like Eborg's trying to head this way, probably to help the West. They're probably saying, we got it, but they don't. They don't got it now. So Eborg may turn around as well. But that takes some time, and he's not particularly scary. Dre's scary. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. We're going to kill Vijo. We're going to press it on Nat 20. That's going to force Dre to keep more troops down here and fight me, but that gives the North time to push in. Meanwhile, we've got these other four pushing over here and not fighting us. So the tides are turning. Now, what happens after that? I don't know. These obviously there's not going to be 8 winners, but I'd rather be 1 of 8 chance than 0 of 8 with the South winning. So those are better odds. 1 and 8 are better than 0 and 8. And quite frankly, Master Debater's not going to outpace me because of his slower start. I don't think, what is this, Bellum down here? He's going to be smaller. So really, it's better than 1 and 8. It's probably 1 and 4. And it's how things play out. And if I'm able to get some of these big stars, that works well in my favor. So we'll see. Cycle 17. All right, I'm about to blow shit up. So here's the deal. You know, I waited last cycle for terraforming 10, and I paid that to get it passed forward from my northern allies. And I arranged this whole alliance with the whole board, which works out great because we get weapons 11 passed over from Crasso. Hey, great! We are in shape. We've got this chain of allies now sending over tech. Look at that! I can get range. We can send them scanning. How wonderful is all this? Except Braveyard took forever to pass on the tech to One Blue, who then didn't pay me on time and then had to wait to the next cycle. And I was cool with it. I'm like, yeah, accidents happen. And then it happens again. I was at Terraforming 9 when we had 11. And so I said, basically, listen, trading's taking way too long. So I'm not asking. I'm telling you I'm going to get a envoy, and I'm going to send them from here to here to here to here to here to here. And then I'm going to be in range with Crasso, who will actually trade in a reasonable amount of time. And and I get back like, oh, that's not really good for me, but okay, probably the right choice, because I spent all my money on warp gates as soon as I got out of bed and didn't check any other commitments. Listen here, motherfucker. Listen here, motherfucker. You spent my money again, the second time in a row, to not pass tech down. This is not sustainable. Oh, and you know, that's one thing. But then it's like, hey, we've got like 4,100 ships visible to us. And he's like, oh, I've got 4K ships basically there. When will you be ready, Braveyard? Master Debater's like, you gotta go, man. You don't need to time it perfectly. We're just go, just attack. Very well. Is there? Yes, by the way, is there any chance that the two of these things actually happen? Okay. And the two things are peace and love, neighbors, friendship. He doesn't. He's like, I'm not going to attack because, you know, maybe this is real. So one of two things is happening. So he's fucking around with me and not attacking. Now, he did just say lunching, which I think means launching, but technically all he's saying is he's eating lunch. He's not committing to attacking. Master Debater's started to say, take some of my stars. Because down here we've got 4,000 ships attacking us. So I can see where this is going. And if it weren't bad enough, Eborg's coming my way now too. So now I've got, still trying to finish off Vijo, still trying to deal with Nat, now I have Eborg coming in and dealing with Dre. Not happening. So I'm like, all right, even if I get this convoy up here and get a little space up here to trade tech, that'll help. It'll absolutely help. But it's going to take me some time. Let's just see. Like, assuming it's all warp gated, which I'm just hoping that it is. But let's just do a quick check here on how long this would take to get. So instead of 7 days, this is 2.5 days. 2.5 days to get into position. I'm dead in 2.5 days. So Crasso is up here and is very strong, but he's in no position to actually attack mid yet. He's aligned with us. Dr. Gert is also very strong down here, and he's eating the stars from Bellum. So we've got two strong non-Southern players in Dr. Gert and Crasso. I would like us three to be the top three. But the problem is, while they've managed successfully own their part, I am a hot mess. I'm a hot mess with allies that are either incompetent or intentionally sabotaging. So, I'm going to blow shit up. And here's what the plan is. I'm going to give Dr. Dre, Pyro Dre, I'm going to give Dre all my stars. And I told him I'm going to give him all his stars. And then I'm going to attack one blue. Because either he's incompetent or he's intentionally trying to hurt me. And either way, it pisses me off. But it's actually not me being mad. Because I am frustrated. But then I said, okay, the plan that I laid out exactly will not work. I have too much resistance and not enough support. So, what do? And the only thing I could think of is this. I will fend off Nat, Vijo, Eborg. I will go ahead and try to slow them down. However, I will freely give, and I will invite Dre to take all my stars. In a perfect world, Dre takes all of this. And meanwhile, I told him to start from the south and work north. And the reason I said to do that is because I will be attacking one blue and then Braveyard, because I want to be neighbors with Crasso, because Crasso will actually work with me. He will trade me techs. We can coordinate and collaborate. We can actually play the game. Right now, one blue is making me not be able to play the game. Braveyard is not playing the game. The other comment, and it's in our strategy chat, one was like, yeah, I used to really get into this game and play it all the time, but now, like, I even forget sometimes I'm in a game. Well, that's apparent by his lack of participation. And that's fine for him, but for the people that are in his alliance, that's not cool, because now I am trying to play. I am trying to win, and I can't if my alliance is not helping, right? Like you're not really in my alliance. You're just pretending to be in my alliance. So I don't really feel like this is a stab. I feel like this is kind of calling one blue out for what he's doing. But here's the long-term play. And this may not work. This probably won't work. But the long-term play is Dre gets huge. He blows up, right? So if you look at the leaderboard, he's here. He blows up, and he starts to become a threat to Mr. Lethal Blood. And in doing so, if he takes all these stars, I basically move my empire up into this section here. I'm just moving them on up. And this is my new home. And this is not my home. This is Dre's home. Dre gets all of this. He becomes the singular threat in the game. We're down to 1, 2, 3 of us because Crasso will probably take Beg stars. Like he'll convince him to do that. So it'll be 3 against them. And at that point, Lethal Blood will have to turn on Dre. And they'll consume these smaller empires down here. And at that point, I'm not dead. I'm just moved. But I'm also probably the weakest of the 3. I'm clearly going to be the weakest of the 3. But I'm still potentially top 3. And then I just ally with whoever's in second place and try to play him outplay him from there. So that's the plan. Oh, and I'm going to, not today, I'm going to start routing all my ships north. And I'm going to put them just out of view. I'm going to put them right here on my home. And I'm going to just rally everything here. And then I'm going to fucking crush one blue. I'm going to take all his stuff. And I'm going to make a big stink. I'm going to make a big public post saying how angry I am. But again, I'm not giving up. This is a very well thought out. It's a somewhat thought out intentional move to try to get the board against Dre because Dre's too big, and then helping me get next to partners who will actually be a good ally with me. So that's the play. It is crazy. This is not something I would typically do in a normal like 64-man game, but I don't see any way I survive just in the conventional, but slam my head against this front down here. I don't win this. I don't win this unless I get help. And the only people that can actually help, Dr. Gert's busy with Lethal Blood in Special K. He's not going to help. Crass is not in position yet. And these two knuckleheads aren't attacking because they think maybe there's peace and love and happiness and neighbors and friendship. So yeah. So I'm going to get my ships in position. I'm going to make a post that about what I'm doing to everybody. But I already told Dre, start taking my stars. And then it's all part of the plan. Let's see if it works or if it completely blows up in my face. All right, so here's an update. I went ahead and sent a message out with the plan, and I think I came off rather convincing. I basically sent to everyone in the game still, plus thing 1 and 2, because I referenced him and Kaine. Just keep him in the loop since he created the custom game. I think he'll appreciate it. I told him offline this is part of my plan. Blowing shit up. So here's my case I laid out. So here's the deal. I don't like being played. It's clear to me that I am, so I'm blowing shit up. I'm giving the game to my boy Pyro Dre, who is a good, strong player, whom I respect quite a bit. Congratulations. It's become clear that One Blue is not with me. The evidence is every tech takes over 24 hours to pass along. Twice in a row he spent my money. Instead of sending sex, I buy the oops sorry story once, but not back to back, while I'm 2 terraforming levels behind. Then I get the, oh, I just woke up and bought all warp gates for my stars before sending out other commitments bullshit. I call bullshit, One Blue. You're not that bad at this game, and I'm not that stupid to believe that you are. Then you send your ally this, which is, I think I already showed this to you. I don't remember which one, though. Which is, yeah, this thing. It's like, oh, he really didn't want to answer my question. So this is what One Blue posted in our strategy thread. He says, One Blue sent this to Pyro Dre. Maybe the only problem with that would be the following. If I agree, then I'm guaranteed below top 3 because there is you, Mr. Lethal Blood, and Graymason or Braveyard who will win. And I guarantee you that I will not become either you or someone else will completely engulf me. However, I might consider it if not a full-on alliance, if you attack Lethal Blood. Or if you give me some center, because then I will know that I will not be in trouble, as I will have that extra industry and econ backing me up. Both of these will remove the guaranteed bits and give me a chance. What do you say, friend? So first of all, Pyro Days, Dre. Okay, whatever. So he says, sorry, really busy. We'll read it and answer you when I get a question. We'll read it and we'll answer you question soon. I really doubt that, So I don't really know what he's playing at. So I said, essentially, showing that you're wondering if Pyro Day is serious about peace, love, and neighbors, and meanwhile, he already has 6,000 ships in our core and thinking you guys can be friends. We've been asking you to attack all game long while you're all like, I accidentally sent ships back and forth randomly. Oops, my bad again. Wow, I'm bad at this game. Hee hee hee. Then you finally say you're lunching, which I assume you meant launching, although maybe you're just eating lunch. I shouldn't assume. But you send this picture as evidence. So then he sends this picture as evidence, which is this one here. No, that's not that one there. It's this one here. Right, which basically, look at this. This is a warp gate. These two are not warp gated. Here's Dre. I went and did the ruler. That's 1 day travel time. Meanwhile, why are these 400 randomly just going back and forth between, what? Like the enemy's here. Like why are they going this way? Right? So yeah, you're just moving ships to the front line without a warp gate on a 1 day journey that may at that point move on to Dre. Okay, now you're insulting my intelligence. As I type this out, I realize more and more how I've been played this entire game. I regret now not killing you first and working with thing 1 and 2. So what does all this mean? It means fuck one blue. He's going down. Don't care if I live or die. I'm sending 100% of my ships into him. I'd like Pyro Dre to win. So this is my deal. Pyro Dre takes all my stars. Start from the south and work north. Just keep going. But that allows me to kill one blue. I will move off all stars so you don't take any losses. I will defend against any attacks by Vijo, Nat 20, and Eborg. Not sending ships south to defend, but whatever's produced there will defend against the Dre minions. I want to maximize Dre's growth as quickly as possible to end this game. If they get aggressive, I will send ships back south to clear out the stars for Dre, but I prefer them just to give their stars to Dre as well, as he's the clear winner now regardless. They've done their job. Sorry to the Great Northern Alliance. I know it's just recently we finally connected and agreed, but I wanted to make sure that I publicly laid out my case for why, after going through all the effort to align with everyone against the South, that I'm changing my plans and giving the game to Dre. Congratulations, Pyro Dre. So, I also did send money to him to send me tech that he said he would. Now, at this point, I probably shouldn't have. And at this point, I'm actually not even going to spend my money. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go try to kill one blue, and actually, I'll try to get Braveyard to do it too, and then I'll kill him too. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe I don't know what I do with Braveyard, but I think definitely one blue, and yeah, and then but the idea is I'm not really giving up. I'm really just trying to take these stars. And actually, even if I just give up like this lower part, if I'm able to still get like this quadrant, and that at that point Dre starts getting attacked, that's what we're going to do. So yeah, that's really, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything else, but yeah, one blue's lunching. He's lunching. I'll be attacking it a bit. Okay. We're like, we're dying, the Titanic, okay, I'll be coming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's never really with us. He just didn't have a choice. So hopefully I can use this to my advantage. And to be clear, I really don't, well, it's fine. I'm not really mad at one blue. But I need to make sure people think I am. So they buy the story. And because really what I want to happen, I want Dre to kill off all these people and to make himself a huge threat. I hope he falls for it. I hope he does, because that will be my big chance. If Dre doesn't take the bait, if Dre lets his allies grow too, it's a problem for me, because then I just gave up my stars for nothing. So I really, really need Dre to take all the stars and make himself a huge threat. We'll see if he sees past my shenanigans. Cycle 18. Things aren't quite going to plan. So the good news is the Southern Alliance here took the bait. And they're like, yeah, okay, great. We'll get Dre these stars. I started a thread. Where did it go? Oh, yeah, the tactical takeover of Dre, right? With all the players down here. And I basically told them, hey, let's just have this thread so we can coordinate a logical way for Dre to get the stars. And again, the whole point here is to make Dre a big threat, not to actually give up my stars. I want Dre to grow. I don't want his allies to grow. And but both of them, Eborg and Nat 20, and so Eborg's now on the board here, right, moving in with 3,300 and more coming. Nat, they're all hitting him as well, Master Debater. And there's so it's good that they're hitting him, not me for now. And they say, actually, I said, listen, you guys just keep playing and not giving Dre all of these stars is not part of my plan. And Nat's like, at the end of the day, I'm still here to help Dre. So you know what? I'll leave it up to him. And I said, to be clear from my perspective, if Dre equals stars, not Dre equals fight. And again, I'm not really giving Dre my stars. I gave up 1 star so far. I'm going to give up this star as well. And that might be the end of what I give up. We'll see. Up in the north, I have been able to get 1, 2, 3, about to get 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. So my pace of picking up these stars is greater than my pace of losing down here, which is good. And more importantly, I've now connected with Braveyard, who I need to get that terraforming from. But I sent him a bunch of scanning and range, so he can send that over to Crasso. So we're starting to reconnect here, or starting to connect. I would like to get through Braveyard and get his stars too. I just don't like. I'm not going to be able to pull off the same stunt twice. So one of the problems is this is a picture of that Crasso sent me from right up here, and basically what you see is Braveyard has 1,231 ships sitting on this star right here, not moving anywhere. Now, presumably that is to be defensive against getting attacked, but if we're all aligned, that's a lot of ships that aren't in combat. And there's no, there's no sense of urgency getting those to the center. So I don't know what's going on down here, but there's been no movement, that's for sure. So I don't know if this attack's actually even started. Um, I know nothing, and if it has, it hasn't been successful. Um, so, so what do you do? I think I continue to slowly give up in the south because I'm going to give it up anyway. Try to quickly grow on one blue, and then see if I can't get Braveyard to help me out. Um, but I definitely think like this here is a line. I may have to lose the southern bunch of stars, which is going to be a problem. But the question then, of course, is what is it going to take for Lethal Blood to actually attack Dre? Um, and that's the conversation that right now we have Dr. Gert attacking him. And so what we need is Dr. Gert to say, hey, Lethal Blood, I'll stop attacking you, and why don't we work together to take out Trey? But right now, there's no incentive for him to do that, and actually even no clear way for him to get through there. Um, so this whole plan may just be nonsense and not work. I just know I can't straight up fight these guys down here because my allies aren't strong enough and haven't supported me in the middle. If Dre would have actually been dealt with up here and not pushing in, I think we could have won down here. But between Nat and Eborg now and Dre, it's too much. So yeah, so let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm probably gonna lose now. I mean, we are down. We are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Myself, like so 5 players bigger than me. Um, so it's not that many. It's Lethal Blood and Dre or Crasso and Dr. Gert. I don't see myself being able to pull this off, but I'm still gonna try my damnedest. If I can't get it, I'd like to see if I get Crasso the win, but I still want to try to pull something out of the hat. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click on the link for the next episode, and don't forget to click subscribe for more content.